The road stretched endlessly before him, a ribbon of cracked asphalt winding through the barren wasteland. Route 66 had once been the heartbeat of America, but now it was nothing more than a fading relic, a highway where forgotten stories whispered in the wind. Jack Monroe, gripping the wheel of his battered Chevy Impala, glanced at the nearly empty gas gauge. The desert night swallowed the road behind him, leaving only the soft hum of his engine and the distant howl of coyotes. Jack was a journalist, or at least he had been. Once celebrated for his groundbreaking investigations, his career had crumbled after a failed exposé left his reputation in ruins. Now he was chasing a different kind of story. One that, if true, could rewrite his legacy. A week earlier, in a dingy roadside diner outside Albuquerque, a drifter with sunken eyes and nicotine-stained fingers had muttered a name that sent a chill down Jack's spine: Black Hollow. "It ain't on no map," the old man had warned, stirring his coffee with a shaking hand. "Some folks say it's a mirage. Others say it's a curse. People go in, but they don't come out." Jack had dismissed the story as local folklore, until he started digging. There were whispers on trucker forums, rumors among drifters. Missing persons reports clustered around the area where Black Hollow was said to appear, all with the same eerie details. Travelers who had last been seen along Route 66 before vanishing without a trace. Now, with nothing to lose, Jack followed the legend. His headlights cut through the fog that had begun to roll in, thick and unnatural. Then, out of nowhere, the town emerged. Black Hollow. It looked like a scene frozen in time. Neon signs flickered weakly, casting eerie glows onto the rain-slicked pavement. A gas station stood on the corner, its rusted pump handles swaying in the wind. Further down, a bar's sign buzzed with dim light. The Hollow Tavern. Jack parked outside and stepped into the town. The air smelled of rain and something else, something he couldn't quite place. Cigarette smoke and nostalgia? A woman in a red dress greeted him at the bar. She was beautiful in an old Hollywood kind of way. Dark curls, ruby lips, but her eyes held an emptiness that made Jack's skin prickle. "Welcome, stranger," she purred, swirling the whiskey in her glass. "You've come a long way." Jack took a seat at the worn wooden bar. A bartender, whose face looked oddly familiar, slid him a drink before he even had the chance to order. Around him, patrons laughed and chatted, but something was off. The air was too still, the echoes too hollow. The conversations looped like a broken record. Then he noticed the faces. He had seen them before, in missing persons reports. A chill crept up his spine. These were the lost souls of Black Hollow. His pulse quickened. He reached for his camera, but it was gone. So was his notebook. Panic clawed at his throat. The woman in the red dress leaned closer, her breath cool against his skin. "You shouldn't have come." Jack pushed back from the bar, heart pounding. The bartender's grip clamped onto his wrist, cold as stone. The laughter around him stopped. The jukebox crackled, then went silent. Then, darkness. When Jack awoke, he was back on Route 66, slumped over the wheel of his car. The sun was rising, casting a golden glow over the landscape. His hands trembled as he reached for his notebook. It was empty. His camera, gone. But something was in his pocket. A matchbook. He turned it over, his breath hitching. Black Hollow Tavern. An address was scribbled in red ink. He turned back toward the road. The town was gone. Black Hollow had vanished, just as the legends had said. Jack's fingers tightened around the matchbook. Had it all been a dream? A hallucination brought on by exhaustion? Or had he just barely escaped something far worse? As he started the car, a song crackled over the radio, a song he had heard in the tavern. His blood ran cold. The whispers of the town echoed in his ears, lingering just beyond the veil of reality. Black Hollow was watching. And it wasn't finished with him yet. Jack gripped the wheel, his foot hesitating over the gas pedal. He had spent his entire life chasing the truth, but now he wasn't sure he wanted to know it. Yet, deep down, he knew the story wasn't over. Not for him. The road stretched on, waiting. And somewhere in the distance, the forgotten highway whispered his name.